Yeah.
Another question that I got for you, right? You are running your business here right now in Ghana, and you're trying to connect Ghanaian markets, or not Ghanaian markets. I can say so. Customers, right?
Sellers.
True.
I definitely have thought about. I mean, I could stay in Ghana. Why not?
I mean, yeah, but yeah.
I've thought about it a lot, and the reason for building the platform was also because that was the major reason. Like, because I think every business person, everything that you're doing in life, you're thinking, but then what? You know, I make money today, and then what about tomorrow?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another wonderful episode of my podcast, International MIC CHECK. Today I'll bring you one of the amazing ladies, one of the top Afrikanah fashionistas, from Malawi. Her name is Rabecca, and she'll actually be talking more about her passion for African products, how she developed that passion, and how she got to embrace it and do something, start a business from it. So without wasting any time, I'll just give her a platform to introduce herself. And before that, my name is Jose, and I'm from Mozambique, and I developed this podcast because I want to bring or connect international people, bring them here into this wonderful podcast, get to know them better, get to know what they are doing, and get to know what is it that makes them who they are. So Rabecca, please introduce yourself to the audience.
Thank you so much, Judesho. Thank you for inviting me. I feel like it's such an honor to come and sit down and talk about things that usually would be in our room just stuck and not talking about. So my name is Rabecca Eliezer. I come from Malawi, but I am Rwandese.
I don't know that.
Yeah, I am a student currently.
Yeah.
Almost graduating next year. I love kokonte.
What's that?
Kokonte is a Ghanaian dish.
What's kokonte?
It's a Ghanaian
I've been
dish.
here for like 3 years and I don't know what's kokonte.
I love kokonte.
So what is it? Can you like?
I should describe it. I think the dough it's made from. It's a dough made from cassava flour.
Cassava
And
flour.
then it comes with like groundnut soup.
Okay.
And oh my God,
It's nice.
Like you should try it. It's really nice.
Okay.
What else about me? Yeah, I love Africa. That's the biggest part of it. And I also love people. I love talking to people. I love saying what's on my mind. A lot of people call me opinionated.
Okay. Yeah.
But I love just to exchange thoughts and talk to people.
Yeah.
I think that's enough for me.
That's amazing. That's why I actually have known you for quite a while.
Yeah.
Trust me, I got to know you more, I think this year through like the business that you introduced me to, like the passion that you had. I want you to tell like us, what is it really, what made you, get attracted to African stuff, African culture, African, everything that has to do with Africa, because everything that I see on your profile today says Africa, your Insta, your LinkedIn and all that. So what developed that passion? Can you like just elaborate a little bit?
Yeah. So thank you again for the question. So as I said, I come from Malawi. I was raised in Malawi, but I was born in Kenya, and I come from Rwandan parents, so that makes me Rwandese. Okay,
how is that
now
possible?
I'm studying in Ghana, so you can see that I have a lot of relationship with
to African
Rwandi,
stuff,
with African stuff. Like I've just related with a lot of people from. I mean, now being in Ashesi, you relate with like people from over 31 countries in Africa. I think that having that experience have just made me come across a lot of different cultures and a lot of different perspectives, what Africa is and maybe what was as well, and that has just made me fall in love so much with it, to the extent that when I saw an opportunity to actually turn it into a business, I took it in a second.
Yeah. So tell me, did you start your business here at Ashesi, or you had this mindset, or maybe you had started it already before you came to Ashesi, or maybe in your high school, maybe during culture day, maybe you were bringing some like African products to sell like at your school? Like, how did you start?
Definitely, if it's business, I think I started even in like primary school. Like in primary school, I would wait for people to like finish their. I don't know if you've ever been in boarding school, but you see how in boarding school bring like food to school, like groceries and stuff. I'd wait for people to finish there so I can start selling mine. So for me, merchandising and vendorship is something that has existed for a long time. But I think starting this particular Afrikanah store is something that I really was passionate about when I got in Ashesi, because first of all, getting to Ghana is such a really vibrant place that actually embraces culture, and I think that I did not see much of that from where I'm coming from. Not saying that Malawians are not proud of their culture, but I think Ghana is just on another level, and I could see that there are things that they have here, they embrace, they're just so proud of that we don't have back at home. And these are things that people are looking for. I want to mention like just normal fabrics, right? Just normal shoes. In Ashesi, we have a lot of international students, and most of these people, I think when I talked, and it was my challenge at first when I got here, navigating the markets, how do I get a fabric for my mom if I'm going back home to holidays, right? And you don't know the markets, and maybe you're even afraid of being robbed. You're in a new environment. For me, that was an opportunity. I was like, why not go get the stuff and bring it for them, right? The first semester I got here, like it worked that semester because people were actually going back home. It was like the COVID and stuff. And people were like, oh, especially the guys, I need a fabric for my mom. Can you get it for me? So I'll go and get it and like sell it for a small profit on top. But with time, I got to apply for funding. I got into the entrepreneurship space, Ashesi. I got in touch with a lot of people. Shout out to Angelina Ado. She was the head of our entrepreneurship center. Unfortunately, right now she's not there. She's such a nice lady. On her own fuel, with her own self. She took me to Accra Art Center for the first time, like just to show me around. Like the support was overwhelming, and so I would say the passion was there. I loved Africa still, but being in Ashesi and seeing these opportunities, something that's what made it grow and actually made it into something. I mean, it's not that big of a deal now, but I think it will be. The more people look at it from my perspective, and I think from the perspective that they should be looking at it, I think people get it and hopefully, have a much proud society of Africans and African fashion.
That's amazing. And I really like the important point that you mentioned, that Angelina, right? How she really introduced you to the African market space. So how did you have like that mindset that when you're an entrepreneur, there are people who are willing to help you without expecting anything? Because the entrepreneurial space is really rigorous. I feel like
100%.
As much as you involve a lot of people, right?
Everybody
there are people
wants profit. Definitely for me it was a shock, because I think also for coming from a place where I was in as a freshman, someone just came to Ghana, a new country. I never thought that I could come across someone who would look at me and be like, oh, this is some lady who's just trying to look at, look for opportunities, right? But this lady looked at me and was like, oh, I can take you there, right? I think when you get here, I think you are an international student.
For sure.
Taking yourself to some place that maybe I've never been to, and some of these markets, even Ghanaians are even afraid to go there because of how vibrant and big they are.
It's crazy, it makes me remember the last time I went to
definitely. I think that was purely out of love, and also she's very passionate about entrepreneurship, so I think that was just her doing what she does best, but also doing it with a lot of love and kind. I think I'll never be able to thank her enough for that. That was very big for me.
That's amazing. So for how long have you been doing this? Okay, you said from primary school. Is it like 5, 6, 7 years now? It means that it's been a while.
Business?
I mean the African stuff.
So Afrikanah Store, what it is now, I would say it's been in development for over like a year.
Okay.
Because before it was not really.
Okay, so you've been passionate about vendorship, selling.
Yeah, so that's what I was
And then,
doing.
but then it was before you could discover the space of the African products.
So
okay.
what makes it different? What makes it different now is that time I was just a vendor trying to connect this market that was here, international students, international people that could not get or tap into this market that is actually also very big, right? If you see at the statistics, the African art market is actually big. It's even contributing like a very big percentage on the GDPs of different countries. So with time, I looked at it and I was like, but I cannot manage to buy everybody's things, right? But also there's a really big gap of people, and so like at that time, like people from my country were trying to contact me, people from other countries. It became a little bit overwhelming, and then I was like, why not connect these people to actually talk to themselves direct, like I should be out of the picture, but also help these people who are selling these products connect with the customers. So that's how Afrikanah Store came in. It was definitely a lot of planning and a lot of putting together, a lot of thinking, a lot of crying, a lot of, saying this is not possible. But I think that with time and with the really loving what you feel, if really believing in what you think that you want to do, I think that everything is really possible.
So I'm just wondering, right now you're about to graduate, right?
Yeah.
And you have this business with you, and it's going well so far. You saw the ad that we did, the promotional video. It was really good, and it got to a lot of people.
Shout out to Judesio. Shout out to Judesio.
Yeah.
The good
so
voice.
Come on. Oh, I don't have a good voice. So I'm just wondering, is this something that you wanna, like, after you graduate, it's gonna be your focus? You're not gonna find maybe a full-time job or something? Because I feel like now most people that I know, they really quit their jobs. I know I'm not directing you into not going to a workspace, right? I'm just saying there are people who just leave their jobs, right? I want to focus on this. This is what I want.
Yeah.
I started it from like my university or from high school, and was working. I was making money. It was making moves for me. So why should I work for somebody? Why can't I like just develop this for myself? So do you see yourself like going through that path, not finding a full-time role?
I think, to be very honest, I think everyone who is also almost graduating right now, if they're not a little bit worried about what's going to happen, I would really like congratulate them, because means they have their life figured out. But definitely it's a dilemma, because as a startup and as a new entrepreneur going now into the real world, right now I think that I'm not really into the real world, because I can lean into school and lean, but when you're doing it full-time, it's a different thing. So I wouldn't say that it's a decision that I've made completely and say, well, I'll go out of school and do it. But I definitely know that it's something I want to do for the rest of my life. Even if I don't do it maybe for the first 5 years as a full-time thing, but I know that this is my passion. I would like to pursue it. I would like to go into fashion, specifically Afro fashion. I would like to even make the platform bigger to other countries, like the way now it's moving in Ghana, see how good and how well it can work for others. Because I feel like it's not benefiting me to the bigger picture. It's benefiting people who were not able to sell before, now they're selling.
So it's more like social impact.
It's
even though it's for profit, but it's social. It's based on.
You cannot believe the amount of friends I have in the market. They're actually like my family, and I love that. I love seeing that. It just makes me feel.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Another question that I got for you, right? You are running your business here right now in Ghana, and you're trying to connect Ghanaian markets, or not Ghanaian markets. I can say so. Customers, right?
Sellers.
Yeah. What do you think will happen when you leave Ghana? How are you gonna sustain your business? How do you think your business is gonna, continue doing what's doing? You being away from Ghana, unless your plan is to stay here. which
So-
is something I don't think is true.
I definitely have thought about. I mean, I could stay in Ghana. Why not?
I mean, yeah, but yeah.
I've thought about it a lot, and the reason for building the platform was also because that was the major reason. Like, because every I think every business person, everything that you're doing in life, you're thinking, but then what? You know, I make money today, and then what about tomorrow? Like, what's the sustainability point of this? So for me, building the platform right now, what we are trying to do behind the scenes is to make it more decentralized to the extent that I will not be too involved, because the logistics behind, right now I'm in charge of them, but the logistics behind at some point, we're looking to make them decentralized to the extent that you see Alibaba, you see Amazon. These are things that Amazon maybe is not a very accurate example, but maybe Alibaba, where the seller and the customer interacts independently without the owner actually being there, because I'll leave Ghana and I'll not be there. So the reason is to just build a platform, make it known to people, make them come sign up and customers sign up, and they can do their own businesses and transactions going forward. But definitely it's a tedious program. We're trying to get a business registered and all these companies come in, but definitely that's the way that we're moving forward for the sustainability part.
That's amazing. That's actually interesting. Because like you said, it's a platform where anyone can use it. So are you like, it means that, let's say a Malawian, right, seller wants to sell African products, can they use your platform? Like, I'm sure for now you're just focused on Ghana, but for the future, right, are you planning on doing that, connecting people? Let's say in Malawi, there are people who want to sell their products, African products, through your platform. Can they still use it? Are you looking into that?
So the goal,
that's the goal,
ideal goal is to have a platform that is selling African products. And when we say African products, you know how broad Africa is. You are Mozambican, I think you've been to other parts of Africa as well. You can see that even though we are all Africans, there are things that actually make us unique and differentiate us from each other. So I can say the same for Malawi and Ghana. There is definitely some differences, and some people would want things that actually are coming from Malawi, right? So the goal, as I like to call, is to create the Amazon of Africa. So with time, the goal is to make it decentralized to the extent that people if you're in Sweden, you can buy an African product that is coming from South Africa. You can buy
that's a
something
big
that
goal.
is coming from. It's a big, huge goal, and God help us. But thank you for that question.
It'll work. I mean, as long as you put your mind to it and find the right people to work with. Entrepreneurship is all about you working with other people, connecting people and all that, which will work out, I believe. I mean, seeing the way you're so energetic right now, and wow, I'm just wowed. So I think you won't have any issue in the future. And I like the fact that you started doing this thing a long time ago. The philosophy of selling, how do you sell, how do you connect people, how do you find customers, which is really amazing. So in terms of your career, I'm just you personally, right? Of course you said that you're not really sure, you're still worried. I don't know.
Honestly, I'm still thinking about it big time.
If
but there's people out there that can give us advice on how to go about this calculating thing, please don't hesitate to come.
I'm sure there'll be people who will help you.
Advise us, because I think it's such a dilemma, because you know that this is my decision that I'm making. It's a big deal. It's not like I'll eat this wache today and then I'll eat rice. It's a big deal, and this is your life that you're actually going to start out for real. So that's why I think there's a lot of dilemma around it. But
so my question goes to that actually. What's your cheat code? Right? Like, you're not sure about things and all that, but obviously everyone has a dream, everyone has a plan, right? There's something that you've been doing since you've been to HSC, planning for when you go out of school or planning for your career, right? What do you think are the things that you minimize or you maximize or you take into consideration all the time, or your strategies? What is it? Just in 2 words, maybe.
In 2 words.
I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Like, just just describe it for me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like everyone
well,
has.
The question is, what career-wise, which
Like what are the cheat codes? What are the cheat codes that will take you? Like the strategies that will take you to whatever that you are thinking, you are imagining of doing after you graduate.
Cheat codes, really, as if I'm already there.
Yeah,
but you know what? I think that career-wise, I've come to really love a space of creating, like just sitting down and thinking of an idea and developing it from zero. So I'm leaning across towards marketing, product development, project management, those kind of issues and areas, because I feel like they allow me to be me. Like if you know me, I like talking,
you like marketing,
I like
right?
socializing, I
like pictures, I know.
I like pictures, I like being in front of the camera and stuff like that. I think that these are spaces that if I go, no matter where it's going to be, I think I'll be able to grow, because I also love it. Right? I know it might not be a real reflection of the real world, but again, sometimes we get what we ask for. Right? That's what I love. And I don't know if you asked about sector, but sector-wise, ideally, I have so far maybe like 2 organizations. I lean towards working with non-governmental organizations that deal with issues of refugees and displaced people and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what, when I'm in my room alone, that's what I'm Googling, that's what I'm finding out. How can we get in that space, UN and stuff like that. So
that's actually amazing. I see you as much as you are a for-profit girl. I mean, what am I saying? As much as you are like, about that money, right? I feel like you're really passionate about social impact.
100%.
Like being a servant leader. And all that, which is good. I think whatever you're taking, you should also there should be a balance between what you're taking and what you're giving. I'm just curious. Maybe I didn't ask you, but do you think right now there are people who do exactly the same thing that you do, like the Afrikanah business?
I've actually done a lot of research, so I'm also planning to do it as a capstone project. So I've done quite some research in that area. There's a lot of people, but the difference is that most of these ventures focus on buying the stuff, keeping them as inventory, and then just having a platform to showcase and then sell. Or just sometimes using the sellers, real local sellers who are maybe in art markets, to put the products on the platform, not really like encouraging them to sell or tell their stories. Because by the end of the day, I think you agree with me that there's a power in just helping you sell something so we can help you economically and financially, but also there's something that just comes with me telling your story so that you are known to the world. By the end of the day, after you sold, now you have a whole group, a whole group of people that are loyal to you because they know you better and they love what you do. So I think that's a difference with Afrikanah, is trying to showcase the stories of these people, the real stories, and how they actually struggle in their process of making art. What is happening, and some of these challenges. That's the way that we are leaning forward, not just to sell and make money, and also to give meaning to the things that we are selling. Right? We have blogs coming up. Why are you buying this? By the end of the day, if you are buying a fabric, why are you buying kente? Do you know where it's coming from and what it means? I think that gives it value. If you are buying it, for example, as a European person or someone who is African but don't understand these things. It gives it more value when you wear, makes you feel proud, makes you feel more valuable, or to know just that you are wearing something and it has meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's really nice that at least you have your market and you know how you differentiate yourself, what makes you unique. Because obviously in everything there's always competition.
Yeah.
But just curious, what would be your best advice to people who are looking into getting into this space of selling African products, African fashion? Like, what would be your best advice? Your short best advice? Like, keep it real, keep it 100,
I'm
keep
not
it simple.
the most successful like
Yeah,
person in this
but looking at your experience, like what
meeting.
you have
Yeah.
gone through, because there are people who are still trying to get to where you are right now, right? So, what would be your advice?
I think by the end of the day, it's not just about like the African space of fashion. I think it's generally about business. I think business or entrepreneurship in general is like one of the more hardest things that you can ever do as a human being.
Yeah.
In as much as people try to like color it and say you make money, da da da, but it's like you have a child and you raise it every single day. It's an end. Every single day you have to do about it something about it. So I think my simple advice would be, if you are going to start something and you feel strongly passionate about it, and maybe you feel like it's going to help people and maybe yourself, I think the most important thing is to really be passionate about it. Right? Okay, it should make money for you. It should be a selling business. You should have a good business model. It should make sense, but also like it. Because if you don't like it, it's hard, because some days are really hard. You don't want to wake up.
I
Some days, some people will like
I know.
swear at you. Some people you
Yeah.
tell this like something that you really love and you think it's going to help them, but they don't understand it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think the best thing is to like do something that you can stand by, stand up for, because a lot of people also come and tell you, no, this is not something that you should do. This is not, you know. So by the end of the day, be able to stand by it and defend it, right? Yeah.
You heard her, yo. She said, if you want to get into the business space, not only the African product space, business space, you should have passion. Because sometimes you feel like you don't want to wake up.
Sometimes it's
Sometimes it's
hard,
so
bro.
hard,
Sometimes
but you have to keep going. For all of you who are starting a business, all of you who have, good businesses, but you're struggling, just remember why you started. Remember that, you are passionate about it.
yeah.
And just because you're passionate about it doesn't mean it's not gonna be hard. It's gonna be an easy journey. It's gonna be
100%.
hard, and if it
100%.
becomes hard, that's where you're gonna be more. It's gonna be more interesting for you. Oh, thank you so much for that advice. Actually,
Thank you.
and it's really interesting.
But the way
Listening.
you're making it seem, it's like I'm a millionaire. I'm sorry.
No, no, like
I'm a billionaire already or
trust me,
something, bro.
trust me.
I'm
I
still
can, I can,
struggling,
I
honestly.
really can see people who are going far with their start. That's why
Honest-
I'm really acting as if I'm not
Yeah.
acting as if I believe that you're a millionaire. In
Oh,
my head, you are.
Amen. I receive.
A millionaire. So I'm seeing a millionaire in front of me, an African millionaire.
Thank you.
You know,
So do I.
and yeah,
This
you'll
thing
make
is
it.
going to blow up.
Yeah, you'll make it. One day I'll ask you
Amen.
when we are old, and like, what did I say? I
When
told
we
you.
are old.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think God blesses also people that try.
That try,
I
right?
think there's I think that most of the times we really don't know what we're doing. I know you're starting this podcast, but
Yeah.
you're not sure. But the more you try, every
The more you
single
try,
day,
the more
you
it
come and do
works.
it.
Yeah.
Trust me, there's a reward for determination and dedication to everything.
No, thank you
Yeah.
for that. That's really true. That's really true. I don't even know why I started this.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know why I started this, but I really, somebody's calling me. But I really feel so happy that I've started it, and I just hope it's gonna work out in the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all for today. All we wanted to know is a little bit about Becca.
Thank you so much.
She's
Thank you
Becca.
so much.
Rabecca or Becca, but I prefer to call her Becca. Wanted to know a little bit about Becca, her Afrikanah Store, how she developed that passion, and how she's thinking about it, looking into the future. And she told all the stories. that she does consider continuing with this after graduation, and because that's what she believes she should be doing, right?
100%.
Yeah. So that's all, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us in this wonderful podcast. It was really amazing listening to this beautiful lady right here. And
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you. This was
You're
amazing.
welcome.
I was really tired and like hungry, but now I'm not hungry.
You're hungry.
Thank
You're
you.
not hungry no more. Okay, that's good. My podcast
Thank you so much.
has brought some joy.
So much motivation and
Yeah.
happy to share.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, guys. My name is Judesho. This is International Mic Check. See you next time.
Subscribe, like, and share.
Don't forget. Bye.